more than halfway there. There you are, my pretty. I don't see any more clams. Maybe I should look somewhere else for a while. Clams. I just need to find 2 more. I don't see any more clams. Maybe I should look somewhere else for a while.
What's up?
Sounds like Holt Scotto was one of the people who didn't care for what you had to say last night.
He and I never see eye to eye. Now, if I were a fisherman, I'd be right as rain no matter what nonsense came out of my mouth. Fine harbor master he'd make.
I talked to Jenna Devlin when I was at the Hot Kettle.
What nasty rumor is she spreading about me today?
Do you two not like each other or something?
She doesn't like me, that's for sure. She thinks I'm a know-it-all from the big city.
I found this piece of wood on the beach. There's something strange about it.
What do you mean? Let's see it. Ouch, those splinters are sharp. That is odd. It looks like it's been in the water a long time, but if that were the case, those edges would be dull. That looks like it broke off of something just recently.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Any idea where it came from?
Could be off a cargo ship, I guess. But you know who you should ask? Casey Porterfield. He works at the Maritime Library in Port Townsend. You should give him a call. His number's 360-555-3095. He loves checking out stuff like this.
I saw a boat in a bottle at Andy Jason's place. He said it was made by a guy named Benjamin Hawkins.
As a matter of fact, I've done some research on Hawkins. He settled here in the mid-1800s, lived in a cabin where the lighthouse is now.
What else have you found out?
He apparently had a major feud going with some sea captain. Hawkins would see the guy sail on the horizon, grab his family and all his valuables, and go into hiding for days.
What was the feud about?
Nobody knew. Rumor had it that the sea captain was an ex-pirate, which might explain why Hawkins hid. But where he hid is still a mystery.
See you in a bit.
Be careful out there.
Maritime Library, this is Casey.
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew. Katie Firestone suggested I give you a call.
Katie who?
Katie Firestone?
Never heard of her.
Oh.
I know a marine biologist named Katie Firestone.
Yes, that's her. I'm staying with her here in Snake Horse Harbor.
Oh, well then what can I do for you?
She said you might be able to help me identify the ship that this piece of plywood I found on the beach came from.
How do you know it came from a ship?
Because it says SS on it. The rest of the name is missing.
Doesn't mean anything. Now if it said SS, which stands for steamship, that'd be different.
Actually, that is what it says.
Oh, well then it came from a ship. Or should I say shipwreck? What kind of wood is it?
I don't know. Old?
Sorry, for a second there, I thought you said old.
Actually, that is what I said.
You're about as much use as a beanie in a hurricane. Look, if you want me to tell you what shipwreck that wood came from, you're gonna have to tell me what kind of wood it is.
But I have no idea.
Well, you just get yourself a book on wood and figure it out. Maybe Katie has one. Soon as you do, call me back. I love checking out stuff like this.
One slice of wood. One glass slide. There. This is going to look so cool under the microscope. Let's have a look. Too cool.
This is Dr. Predoviciu.
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew, and I'd like some help identifying this piece of wood I found.
I'd be happy to assist. Do you have our mailing address?
Well, that's the problem. I don't have time to send it to you. Would it be possible to identify it over the phone?
Certainly. Just hold it up to the phone for a couple of seconds and I'll take a reading. I'm kidding, of course. I usually don't do this over the phone, but I'll give it a try. You will, however, need to take a look at your sample under a microscope.
I already did that.
And are you near the sample in case you need to refer back to it?
Yep, I'm right by it.
All right, we'll get started. Where did you find this wood?
It's a piece of driftwood, probably used for a crate.
Is the wood sample black, brown, or yellow?
Brownish.
Brown or brown reddish?
Brown reddish.
Does the sample have many holes, just a couple, or none at all?
Many.
And are there some holes that are big and some that are small, or are they all the same size?
They're all the same size.
Okay, and the holes are really, really tiny, right?
No, they're pretty sizable.
Then you've got a tropical hardwood. I was assuming the sample was a North American wood. All right. Are there any distinguishable horizontal lines on the sample?
Yes, there are horizontal lines.
If this wood is used for crating, then it's probably Luan. It's fairly common in plywood, but it's a rainforest timber, so it's declining in popularity.
Luan, all right. Thanks for your help.
Glad to have been of service.
Maritime Library, this is Casey.
Hi, this is Nancy Drew. I called before. About the driftwood?
Never heard of you. Now, if you'd have said Nancy Drew...
Yes, that's me, Nancy Drew, Katie Firestone's friend.
So what kind of wood are we talking about here, Nancy?
Luan.
Well, if that driftwood did come from a cargo container that's part of a shipwreck, there's a good chance I can figure out which one. Call me back in an hour or so.
You can identify a ship by what its cargo containers are made out of?
Ever since the hobo spider got into the U.S. by laying eggs in the wood crating of ships coming from Europe, the feds have made sure that cargo ships keep real careful records. Of course, I'll be taking things like tides, currents, weather conditions, proximity to Snake Horse Harbor. I'll be taking all those factors into consideration, too.
I really appreciate your doing this for me, Casey.
And well, you should.